Welcome back to another video in the Node.js series. And in this video, we are going to talk about Express.js. As we saw in the previous video, working with HTTP modules seems very complex, and Express.js helps us to tackle such a complexity. Now, let us try to implement all of those things that we did in the HTTP module and then see the difference using Express.js framework. So for this, I've created a file called a server.js as usual, and then to install Express, because Express is an external module. For that, if you have created a new folder, you need to initialize a folder with Node and also install Express. So to install Express, we will say npm I stands for install express. But for now, I'm not going to install Express, but this is how we install, and then you click enter. So I will just remove this, and now we can start to implement our Express server. So the first thing is to import the module. So const const const, and we can call this Express require, and then pass in the module express. Now we have by we need to put her e. Okay, so now we have imported our Express module, and next will be to initialize our app variable with Express. So we can say app is equals to Express, and then we have initialized our app variable, and next will be setting our port. So port will be 3000. You can give any port that you are comfortable with. For this program, we are given 30,000, and I will try to listen to our server. So for that, we can set app.listing, and then we will pass in the port port, and then a function. So this will be our function. So and then we can give a console console.log, and here we can pass in server is listening TISTENING listening on port. And what is our port? port will be 30,000. So let us save this and then try to run our node mon. So for that, we can say node mon and then server server. Now we can see in our terminal we have server is listing on port 3000. That means we have set up the basic structure of our Express server. So now we are listening to the server is listening now for any request or response. So now we can try to create a route. So let us say app.get, and then here we will pass in similar to the HTTP module / represent the home, and then we will pass in two parameter rec, which stands for request, and res response. There's a callback function, and then here we can say response dot send, and then we will put in a basic HTML in here. So for this, I can come here and say h1, h1, and say this is the home page, page, and then close this h1 tag. So if I save this and go to our browser, let me open Chrome. So if we come to our browser and say localhost 30,000, we can see that we have, this is the home page. So now you can see there is just a simple, we are just having a simple route, the home route. But if you have dozens of routes, you will see the benefit of Express. So let us have another route, and we can call this app.get, and in here we will say a slash about, or but about, and then the same thing, rec and rest, request and response, and we will pass there's an arrow function, and we can say rest doesn't, and in here we will also, we can copy this h1 and then paste here and change the home to about, a-b-o-u-t, about. So if we save and go back to our browser, or come in our URL slash about, a-b-o-u-t, and enter, now we can see this is the about page. So this is how we route using Express. Now, let us assume we want to send a static file instead of writing directly each one tag. Imagine you have full applications that you want to send the HTML file instead of writing into our response. We can use middleware. They use middleware, and for static file, firstly let us create our HTML file, because HTML file is a static file. So we come here and say index, dex dot html, enter, and here I will place in the basic structure, and we can say h1, and here we will say dhrs. This is the home homepage, PAGE. So enter. Now we have our index.html. Let us save this and try to save this page on the in our browser. In fact, to see the difference, let us also create a CSS file, and I will call this style style.css. Enter. And for these two files, the static file needs to be in a folder called public, public. So we can just copy and paste into our public folder. Now we have index and style into our public folder. And for CSS, we can say body, just simple body, and then say background color. We can set this to aqua. Save this, and we try to link our HTML and CSS. So linked, LINK, and CSS. Now, if we go to our browser and reload, nothing is going to happen. So let us reload. We just see this is the about page. Similarly for home page, this is the home page. But now, let's go back to our terminal or our code editor, and in server, we are going to save, instead of this HTML tag, we are going to remove this full line and say send file, and here we will pass in the screen the name of the file, and that will be index, INDEX. We can say index, and to make use out of this index to call a static file, we can have a middleware called app, and you have the use middleware. This is going to use the express, the static function, and here we will pass in the folder name. So the folder name that we have our static file is public. So public, public. So now let us save and then go back to our browser. So we keep our finger crossed. If now we reload, voila, we have, this is our home page, but now our CSS has been applied to the index page. So we can do the same for about page and so forth. So hopefully you got the idea. So this is a basic server using Express.js. If we were using the HTTP module, we have to, for every route, we have to specify so many details. But this is very easy and clean. So I hope you understood this. I hope you understood something from this video, and we are going to continue with some details because I don't want to bore you guys in the single video. We have break those session into two. So hopefully you feel comfortable to come back, or after witnessing this video you can have additional time or break to watch the next video. So with that, Mo, bye bye.